This is actually crazy. If you go to the menu of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 right now, and you just try to boot the zombies mode, this is what happens. It just gets stuck and doesn't go anywhere at all for like a minute and a half, and then eventually, and I'll fast forward time here so you can see what happens, this is what happens. Okay, it took a little longer. It was actually 3 minutes waiting on that screen. And it says, fail to request daily login. And so I'm like, okay, maybe it's just me. I speak to my editor, Joey, on PC, and the exact same issue happens. So then I'm like, okay, maybe if I go into the game here and I just try going to multiplayer instead, that would work, right? Same issue. Once again, stuck on that screen. But then it loads me in, but unlike zombies, all my account progress has been reset. So you can see I'm level 1, like default operator. It's put my account back to 0. If I go to my weapons here, you can see like I'm on default streaks. I've got just some random blueprint equipped, but look, everything is default. It's like I've never played the game. It's giving me the tutorials again, bro. Like I go in here, default. Like it's even got the yellow blinker to show that these are all things I haven't even accessed before. And it's not just me having this issue. I went on the zombies subreddit first because I thought this was a zombies only issue initially because I booted the game to record a zombies video. And I see a post from Anonymous Introvert Bro who says, bro, what's up with this? And the game isn't letting them get past the main menu. It just says networking offline. And then Tharoth in the comments there says, oh, it's a new zombies content patch. And the patch notes are, removed COD from play. Bro, we hope you enjoy this addition to Modern Warfare Zombies. And other people like Unlogical are saying, man, I was literally hopping into the exfil chopper when I got kicked. If they make us lose our stuff, I swear I'll lead the riot. Bad news for you, Unlogical. But they've not only made you lose your stuff, they've made you lose everything you've ever unlocked. Actual craziness. And the hilarious thing about this is that one of the like Activision support devs, I think, posted on the Zombies subreddit saying, multiplayer is saying, in order to help us speed up a fix, please go to the Activision Online Services website and report an issue, right? You go to that website right now, it says Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone, online services. Modern Warfare 3, all platforms online. Warzone, all platforms online. And they even have the cheek to be like, connection tips, check your connection speed, limit other bandwidth heavy applications. Bruh, it's all well and good me doing that. Could you try turning the servers on? In that same thread, there's a guy, Trippy Johnny, and he said, this sucks so bad because I took the day off and was looking forward to playing some COD, and now I'm screwed. Like, what the hell's going on here? Like $70 video game, by the way, can't play it. And it really is nuts, the difference between the COD community experiencing something like this and some of the other stuff that we've seen in the last few days. For example, regarding Helldivers, right? Helldivers has been taking the world by storm and taking the galaxy by storm in a wave of beautiful managed democracy, right? Helldivers has been amazing, the impact that it's had on the games industry. But Helldivers has also been made by a pretty small team. It's not a $500 million AAA project at all, right? And so it's had a massive list of server issues and outages and a cap on the servers, so you have to wait to try and log in. There's been login queues. There's been people that have been AFKing just so that they can stay logged in. They've now just introduced a patch where they're finally going to start kicking players that are AFK so that other players can get in and keep spreading democracy. Like, it's been this whole massive drama, but the community's reaction to it has been so positive because they're rooting for the devs. And the devs are literally on Twitter saying things like, listen, if you're strapped for cash right now and you don't have the money to buy the game, I'd hate for you to buy it while the servers are capping out and not letting you get in. So if you're really low on money, I would save your money for a later date when we've reached server stability. Like, can you imagine anyone from Activision or Call of Duty or anything ever saying something like that, being that transparent and honest? And that's the CEO of the company. And it really makes it very apparent to me that I think Call of Duty's approach for many years at this point has been to essentially say, we are only going to spread this narrative that benefits us and that bolsters our own interests and all those sorts of things. And we are never going to accept the possibility of any fault, any flaw, any issue whatsoever, right? And it's a comms strategy that I understand the logic of. If you're worth $500 million or something and you're sitting at the top of the company and you're like, yeah, we might as well just be faultless because the people that do know that we have flaws and issues, they're too small and insignificant to matter, right? Like, I get that completely detached worldview that those executives may have, but the problem is that inherently that assumes that gamers are stupid. It assumes that all of us can't see the things that are happening in front of our very eyes. And it also assumes that no matter how bad it gets with these AAA projects like Call of Duty or whatever, we're still just going to end up buying them over and over again every single year. And to some extent, that's true, because COD consistently has been one of the top selling video games every year for like 2 decades now. But gradually over time, you start to see people really get burned by this false narrative that everything is hunky-dory and fine. And when you're paying significant amounts of money, $70 is not cheap for a video game, right? When you're paying that kind of money for a product like Call of Duty, and then you see zombie support being completely pulled pretty much after just 2 or 3 months of development from the team that were promised to be working on it for the entire time, seemingly. Or you see the game go down in this way and everyone's entire progress being reset. It feels like because of the narrative that is set by those social media posts and by those statements from CEOs and things like that, saying we are flawless and everything is 100% fine because we are the bar, right? We are Call of Duty. We set the levels on what's possible in terms of perfection in this industry. You do all that stuff, it means that players are going to start holding you to that level. And when you don't meet that level consistently, but also especially on days like today, which is one-off event seemingly, but then you're like, hold on, is it a one-off event? Because that Season 1 Reloaded patch that came out was like one of the worst patches in COD history. The entire game was broken. You couldn't play Warzone. It couldn't open a loadout crate without the entire thing crashing. Like, okay, maybe there is a bit of a pattern here. Maybe there's some kind of underlying issue. Or you think back to another game like a Black Ops 4, for instance, which obviously it needs no repeating how buggy the zombies mode was on launch there and how prevalent those blue screen issues were. You start to sort of realize, oh my God, okay, so like maybe there is a sort of pattern of this, but this pattern is in direct contrast to this narrative of essentially propaganda that we're getting from these executives. And it creates dissonance that can only feel bad. There is no positive outcome for the player in that scenario because they can very transparently see that they are basically being lied to, they're being manipulated, they're being told everything's hunky-dory and fine when it's just not. And it stings, it sucks. And so when a CEO like the Helldivers CEO comes in and says, hey, we actually really do have a lot of issues here, we are trying our absolute best, but we're going to have to take this day by day. And there are other people coming out saying, yeah, like this is why that networking is so difficult. And this is why this is such a challenging problem to solve and stuff. You start to build empathy for the team that's trying to do it because you don't feel like they're just gaslighting you the entire time. Whereas on the COD side, you feel like you're being gaslit like every year, like on repeat, to truly show just how broken it is right now as well. It's not just multiplayer levels and zombies functionality that have been broken, right? All event progress has been reset. The Battle Pass tab is just broken. Black Cell purchases have been reset. You'll still have the skins, but it'll prompt you to repurchase. Your weapon levels have been reset. Your level has been reset, as I said. Your equipped emblems and your calling cards have been reset. This is all from forward leaks. And it just goes to show that like the whole thing, the bottom has fallen out from under it right now. And my assumption, okay, is that probably within the next 24 to 48 hours, we'll see some kind of reversion happen with the servers. I'm assuming that they basically take backups every, I don't know, 24 hours maybe as to what everyone's progress is on the sort of central servers that they have back at Call of Duty HQ. And so I think that we'll basically see a rollback to that point. So if you make any progression now, you'll probably lose it, but it will mean that everyone else's progress up to that point 24 hours ago or whatever has been restored. That's what I'm anticipating will happen here. And zombies and stuff will probably be back online and it'll be sort of fine. But still, this is a mess, dude. And I'm sort of in a position where I'm like, well, had they not fired 1,900 people from Activision Blizzard, and if they still had the 30% of the staff that they let go from Sledgehammer Games, who are lead developing this game, right? Or they're supposed to be, but they've been let go now. If they still had those people on staff, would this have happened today? Like, is this an outcome from those decisions? And we will never know. Like, I have no way of being able to actually draw a direct line between those devs being fired and now something going wrong and the entire networking being broken and accounts being reset. But it seems feasible, right? It's not the sort of thing that is impossible, so maybe. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't bode well. I hope that everything gets reset soon, and I just wanted to make a zombies video, man, and here I am doing this. It's insane. Anyway, if you want more updates on the situation and you are looking forward to a zombies video from me once things are fixed, then drop a like, subscribe as well, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.